Well, hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to continue our work for the trading panel. If you haven't checked out the first part where I covered the main functionality for creating the panel and customizing the panel and adding buttons, today I'm going to work with this stuff. So let's jump right in. Well guys, the first thing we're going to cover is labels. Here is how you can add text to your panel. So let's jump to the meta editor. Well, first thing we need to include the control label. This is control for labels. This is labels library. We're going to add C label, C label, C label. I'm gonna call member label 1. It's going to be our labels. I've created this function for quick access. So create label. I'm gonna call integer x1, integer y1, integer x2, and integer y2. So we're going to give it a coordinate. For example, we're gonna call 30. The same thing works with the button, same idea. We're going to where we're gonna position this thing, this label, and this is 70. So the same thing, we're going to if underscore label 1 dot create, we have the chart ID, same chart ID, string name. So this is going to be the name. This is the name of the label, not the text. Label 1, same thing, sub window, it's 0. I'm gonna call x1, y1, x2, y2. Now if this thing failed, return false. I'm gonna call it return false. Maybe let's give this this label a color. I'll call it if failed member underscore label 1 dot color. Let's say maybe color red. Also, if this failed, we're going to return false. The last thing we're going to give it, the next thing we're going to give it a text. What is the text going to be output for the panel? The same thing, member label 1 dot text. It's called text function. Maybe let's call it time frame. Also, if this thing failed, I'm gonna call it return false. And the last thing, we're going to add it to the panel. If this failed, add m underscore label 1. This thing failed, also going to return false. And if this all return true, this is going to be the end of this function. Return true after it's completed. So the next we're going to add this to the body. Create label to the class. Next we need to add this function. Also add this function, create label, to the main create function. So because it's not been added to the function yet, same thing, create label, return false. All right, let's hit compile and see. Hopefully we don't have errors. All right, we don't have errors. Let's go back to the terminal. All right, as you can see guys, we have created the label successfully with this specific coordinate. with setting a time frame as a name. This is as a text, excuse me, text for the label with this coordinate, and with the color, we set the color to red. As you can see here, guys, we set the color to the red and give it a text at time frame. We add it to the panel. Alright guys, next up I'm going to cover the combo box. This is how you're going to add a list view or a list of items if you want to select from. Let's see how we can do this. We're going to follow the same idea here. We're going to add the combo box library. So we're going to include combo box library. We're going to add the member, C combo box member combo 1. You can name the combos or the members whatever you want, but the class's name should be exactly the same. This is member, you can call it whatever you want. So we have the member for combo 1. I'm gonna call it bool C up window double colon create combo 1. Let's give it a coordinate integer x1 integer y1 x2 integer y2. Let's give it a coordinates. We call maybe here is 150 x2 150 and y2 gonna call it 70 because we want it all the same. So the same thing if m combo dot create, this is going to be the last chart, long chart ID string combo 1 sub window. We have x1 y1 x2 and y2. This is failed. We're going to return false. Let's add it to the panel. We're gonna call it if this false. We're going to add the member. So this is going to return false, and if this function has no problems, we're going to return true. Alright, this is completed. So now let's add this to the main body on the function. I'm gonna call it bool create combo, and then we add this as well to the main create function. If spelled create combo, and if this failed, also we're going to return false. So we added. Let's hit compile. Let's see if we have error variable already defined. This is alright. This is x1 y1 x2 y2. Let's hit compile. Alright, we got compile. Let's jump to the terminal. Alright, as you can see guys, this is the combo box. If you click on it, it's actually empty, but we have successfully created. Let's see how we can add items. Alright, if we want to add item, we come here to the create because we are creating this. For example, let's maybe add a text based. We come here, let's say if field of member combo 1 dot, we're gonna call, we have add item. Let's add the constant string item name. This is where the string are going to be outputted. Let's see how this thing going to show. This is you don't have to, it's basically on default. Maybe let's say this is for the time frame, say h1 This is just for an example. This is h1, and it will return false if this thing failed to add an item. So this is going to be h1 for combo box. Let's hit compile. We are successfully compiled. Let's go back here. We have time frame. As you can see, guys, we have h1 now is selected. And the same thing goes if we want to add multiple items. The same thing. Same thing, we add this maybe h or d1 or daily. Let's hit compile. Let's see. All right, we have now the daily and the 1 hour time frame. If you have maybe some kind of multiple items or too much items or number based items, this is how you can do it, because this is maybe not feasible for you if you have a lot of numbers. So let's comment this out. Let me show you how we can do this. Maybe if you have a number based, I'm gonna call for maybe an I, total of maybe 10 items or 9 items. So the same thing, if this is failed, to remember combo1 dot add item. So this is going to be a string for this. So we need to give it an maybe you can add a name. Let me show you both ways. I'm gonna call integer, call int integer to string, because this is at an integer. We need the string. So we have an I. We added the item. All right. If this thing failed, so let's close this. Let's close this. Final return false. So we're going to add from 0 to 9. This is a number based. Let's hit compile. All right, let's go to the terminal. As you can see, guys, there is a number based right now. If you want to maybe select a number, this is number 4 or whatever the case might be. You can also play around with this as how it's showing. Let me show you. Maybe we can add this as an add item. So for example, let's add a text to this item. Say item space and then plus. So this is going to be, for example, item and this item 1, item 7. Let's see how this will show up. All right, let's go back to the terminal. All right, this is item. Okay, because this is too short, it's not showing the item. Let's give it much more wider. So we have x1, x2. Let's give it this to be 250, because this is going to push it on the x side. Let's see. All right, let's now push it all the way back. It says, all right, item 1, item 0, same thing to the item 9. All right, guys, after we successfully added a combo box and added an items, now I just want to retrieve these values as a variable or as a print function. So let me show you how we can do this. So let's jump back to the terminal. Well, first thing, the same thing when we start to retrieve on click button 1, on click button 2, the same thing we're going to do here. I'm going to call it void C app window. We're going to call it on combo 1 select. So on combo 1 select, what do we want to do? We want to print member member combo 1. Why this is not showing? Right, let's hit compile. Wait a minute. Member underscore combo 1. All right. So this sometimes you need to compile it so we can see combo 1 dot select. So when we click on this, when the combo select, it's going to retrieve this function. When this is activated, going to retrieve the combo member of ComboBox dot select. Now this thing need to be added to the macros. The same thing with the buttons. Let's call it on event, but this time on, it's not on click, it's called on change. On change. This is member on the scroll combo 1, and the name of the function that we have created. Also we need to add it here to the body. On combo1 dot select, let's hit compile. All right, we don't have error. Let's jump back to the terminal. For example, let's select item number 5. As you can see, guys, here in the terminal toolbox, we have item 5 is selected, item 1, item 9. Now this is the same thing with if we want to add it to a variable. Maybe this is, we're going to add it as a variable. Let's say maybe string x equal member of combo. So this is works exactly the same as you expected. So all right, so print. So it's string x is now combo 1 dot select and print x. Let's hit compile. Let's clear this. All right, so maybe we have item 0. All right, so the next x is now equal to item 0. So it's actually feasible. It's easy to use. Item 6. All right. All right, guys, now we're going to move to the checkbox and how we can add a checkbox. So let's jump to the terminal. This is from the last work. All right, so the same thing, same idea. We're going to add the library for the checkbox. All right, checkbox. Let's add the member. C checkbox member and the scroll. Yeah, let's call it check 1. So the same thing, we're going to add create the checkbox. Bool C up window create check 1. We're gonna give it a coordinate int x1 int y1 integer y2 x2 integer y2. So let's give it a coordinate based on our terminal. Maybe we wanted something like here, just lower off the time frame text. So let's go back. Let's see the time frame, where the time frame is located. This, all right, 30, 50, 100, 70. This is 30. Let's say 80. X2 100, and Y2 we're gonna give it 2 pixels. We're going to check if this thing is created or not. If member dot check 1 dot create long chart ID name check 1 sub window x1 y1 x2 y2. This thing failed, return false. And also we're going to add it to the panel. Oh, this is need to be, if it's failed, add member check one. If it's failed, also we're going to return false. If true, we're going to return true if there is nothing wrong here. So let's add this to the body of the function. All right, we're gonna call it full create checkbox. Should be with these guys. All right, create checkbox one, and also we need to add it to the main create function. If it's failed to create checkbox, we're going to return false. All right, let's hit compile. Hopefully we don't have any errors. All right, we don't have error. Let's jump to the terminal. All right, this is the checkbox. It's called check one, and we click it. We didn't set. It's called check one. We didn't set a name for this thing. We forgot to set a name. So all right. So in this case, if you see, we haven't created a name. So let's add a name. If m dot check one dot text, the same exact idea. Let's say my check box. So this thing failed, going to return false. Let's see, compiled, no error. All right, because all right, this thing is short because we have set it the coordinate to the x2. We need to give it a much wider. So x2 maybe 150. As you can see, guys, error is going to be made or anything. So this is how we can see it live. It's the text is not fully, that means the my checkbox text is passing away the x2 coordinates. So all right, this is checkbox is fully functional. There's no problem with it. So let's see how we can interact with this. It's going to be the same idea as we have interacted with this. So void see up window, we're gonna call it on check select. So we're going to see how this thing, we're going to analyze it. So it's going to be the same thing on check select. This is going to be same thing if or a function we need to print. This is going to return true or false if the box is checked or not. So we're gonna call member check one dot. So from the dot we're gonna call checked. So it's going to say if this thing is checked. Let's say give it a text here, so we can say my check box, my checkbox. Let's give it space. All right, let's let me add this, the same thing, add this to the void, and add this to the event on event, the same thing on change, because this thing is changing the states. Check one, and on check, is this check or check one? Let me correct this. Let me check this real quick. It's called on check select. So maybe this is on check one. So it's going to be much easier to understand. We have on check one, and this is on check one dot select. So let's see. Alright, hit compile. We don't have errors. Let's jump back. So when we click on the checkbox, it said my checkbox true. If we click it again, it says my checkbox false. So this is, guys, how you can interact with the checkboxes or the items. As you see, we have item from the combo list. So guys, this is it for this tutorial of the day. I'm going to be covering another tutorial hopefully in the future. Write me in the comment if you have any questions, if you have any things that I want to cover for my next part, and thanks for watching.